want other niggas to wake up. Ugh, no. Hell yeah, because then let them niggas be asleep. You sitting there asleep too. Talking about, hey, now we gotta wake up. What you mean we, bro? You the one telling us we sleep.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta man, and like I said, I'm just seeing it now. I'm always like, why the fuck did I choose this for myself? Is what I think.
Everything else would have been boring.
Right?
You'd have been dissatisfied otherwise. You can't pick a life where you have no issues, but the other issues, you were like, nah, I'm not dealing with that.
That's what I'm saying. I would have had, I could have had other issues. I could have had, there was a time when I wanted to be an instructor at a university teaching classical guitar, and I was totally cool with that. And then I read a fucking occult book. And, now I don't live in
life change.
Now
you gotta keep shit like that in mind, like how easily and smoothly that shit happens. Because, you still be sitting here right now thinking, okay, I got these next few years, and I'm a one book, one thing. Completely changed. You thought, oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah, I thought I wanted to do that.
Yeah, being distressed on purpose. The pity party.
Right? You know what it is? I was like, you're right. I did want this. And I just didn't think it would be this hard.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was going to be easy. I thought, because I'm also always looking for a back door to something. I think, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I'm always looking for a shortcut. I think that, why would I do it this way? If everybody's going into the front room, I'm like, I'm going to go through the back. If everybody's, and I'm thinking that that's the short way, right? The back is not the short way. In this case, this is the hardest.
You gotta get out there and do it.
Right? I was like, I got to the back, and I was like, all right, I made it before them. And they're like, yes, now you know everything. And I was like, no, time out. I just wanted to be here before everybody. I didn't want to know more things. And so
here's your responsibility.
Yeah, this is the responsibility. It's like I've always liked to explore on my, when I first started reading this shit, it was like I just go to the library and pick out books and just sit in the library all day and never had a concern of how it was going to lead people. I liked the non-responsibility. I will not say aloneness because it was never alone, but it was always like I'm always looking for a way to escape having to be a leader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But still kind of slick, get some of the benefits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that goes back into some of the core of masculinity. It's like I said, women get it physically, but men, you have to step to it. I think responsibility is part of that, like taking on a responsibility. Because it's like, you don't have to. At the end of the day, you don't have to. But in doing it and keeping the fact that you don't have to in mind, it kind of makes it worth something.
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
for real. Yes, for real this time, Kelvin.
Yes, for real this time. No, I'll tell you when it's a no. I said yes so many times because it got clearer and clearer every time I heard it back. I was like, yes, that is it. Yes. Yeah, because I'm always thinking about, I'm thinking about everything that when I put this concert on, right? And I was like, yes, I fucking did that shit. Hell yeah. It wouldn't have meant anything if nobody watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It only means something because people were looking, because I led them there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I could have done that shit in my house by myself. And
yeah.
And it wouldn't, and I wouldn't have had as much fun because nobody saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out how to separate sometimes, because I get I'm still getting confused sometimes about purpose and how I'm supposed to enjoy it. Like, if it's your purpose to do whatever you're supposed to do, then you should not have any emotional attachment to it when you do it.
Yeah, well, purpose can change though.
Mm-hmm.
Like recycling and shit. Like, you could have a piece of paper that was used for a plate and ends up being a newspaper eventually. Like, it's not that it didn't have a purpose, but your purpose changes. Like Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett was talking for a long time, like a decade, I think, or more than that. But there was a certain point where that's not what he was doing anymore. And it's not because he wasn't doing his purpose. His purpose changed. No, that wasn't his role anymore. Does that make sense?
Totally. And I think I want to say I have difficulty with changing roles. I don't like change.
Only if you're identifying with the particular role, I guess.
I mean, like, say I moved more from musician into, like, character. And that makes me feel like I'm betraying another part of me. And that's just, yes.
Well, I mean, you got to for progress. Like, in order to be a grown-ass man, you got to betray, the little kids sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This shit sucks. It's like every time I feel like I'm like somewhere to the thing that I thought I was good at, it was like, oh yeah, now you got to do some shit that you're not good at. Like when I thought I mastered not needing the approval of others. Now people want me to lead them.
And then now they request your approval.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just got over wanting that from you.
Exactly. That's exactly how it works.
A whole new skill set, and I'm uncomfortable that I'm constantly having, like, it's like sometimes I want that shit to stop and somebody throw me a fucking party. Legit. Like, you have reached the next level.
It would be nice.
Kelvin has leveled up.
Let's celebrate. Hero cookies, anyone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the people pleaser thing, like saying, I want to make people happy. I think that's bullshit. Not just for you personally, but for a lot of people. You want the benefits of making people happy, because when people are happy, they generally tend to, or you think they're going to make you happy, or things are going to go easier. That's not necessarily the case. You can spend so much time making other people happy, and they do nothing for you. Because they're not entitled to. I mean, they're not obligated to. That's the word. They're not obligated to. And so, if you focus less, I guess, on whether or not other people are happy, that's where the philosophy you can start focusing on what makes you happy, so that you have a stake in that. Because no one else is going to be like, oh, what makes Kelvin happy? Even if they do, they're going to be doing it from that selfish place of, well, if Kelvin's going to be happy, if I make him happy, he'll make me happy. Oh, so now I'm going to ask. Like, they don't really give a fuck. You have to give a fuck about what's going to make you happy. And that pleasing other people, I can guarantee you it won't. Even though there's this feeling because I think the feeling is like the fear that if you don't, other people aren't going to be cooperative, or they're going to be in conflict with you. And to an extent, they will. But I guess the better question is your happiness worth that? And overwhelmingly, of course it is. But if it's worth that, then you gotta weather that storm. And that's part of it.
Yeah, I guess my deal is when do you deal? Like when, it's like, when do you say I'm not asking you, I am making a statement of the conflict that I have within myself. Is that, say for instance, when you have your philosophy, you're like, I need to be patient. I need to explain this way. Like, this is my philosophy. There does become a point where you may have to compromise. And when do you say I am no longer compromising? When it no longer makes you happy, and then
why do you have to compromise?
I mean, that wasn't the word I meant to use. I mean, like, I'm trying to get to a more succinct version of what I'm saying. Is that like the philosophy is to make you happy. Keeping the focus on the philosophy is what makes you happy. But there are times where you will be unhappy, regardless. And how do you know when to continue through the philosophy versus dropping that? Because I guess what I'm saying is there are a lot of things that I find to be difficult about working with other human beings in general. For instance, people who are not cooperative, like a woman. And there are times where I'm like, okay, because they're like that, I realize that I am going to have to deal with that, because my philosophy of happiness. But also my philosophy of happiness is being left the fuck alone sometimes. Right? And it's like, right? And I'm like, how does one, I guess, reconcile that? Like it was, like, the people-pleasing thing comes because at times I feel that I need more space.
Okay, I think it's like, are you asking like, how much slack do you give a motherfucker?
Yeah, basically.
I was